I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart, not while running, not while bracing, not with the noise of yesterday still echoing in your chest. Come, be seated within yourself, breathe, and let the rushing water settle. I do not come to you with thunder to shake your foundations, but I reach you like the first light of dawn, steady, certain, and kind to your waking eyes. I speak now not to inflame your fear, but to keep you. My beloved, I draw near to guard you, to lead you, to bring you into a place where truth can be recognized without your hands trembling. I expose what is hidden because I love you. Hear this clearly. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. It is not entertainment for onlookers, not gossip for curious ears, not a spectacle to shame you. It is mercy. It is the shield you did not know you needed, raised over you before the arrow has fully flown. I see the corners where shadows ripple, the places where what you cannot name has been shaping you silently. I am not content to watch you be shaped by darkness. My light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. It reveals in order to protect. It reveals so you may walk forward in light and freedom. There has been an inner conflict in you. You sensed something off, a quiet misalignment, a tug that did not have vocabulary yet. You asked yourself, is this only me? Am I too sensitive? Am I imagining what is not there? My child, I have never left you, and I have been the one placing that gentle restraint upon your spirit. Not a harsh accusation, not the lash of shame, but a holy pause that asks you to wait, to look again, to let me hold your steps. Discernment in its earliest form often feels like a small hand on your shoulder rather than a shout from across the room. Do not despise what is small. A whisper from me can turn a mountain. Not thunder, but dawn. Not shame, but safety. Not suspicion, but wisdom. Not paranoia, but clarity. Not panic, but peace. I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. When you are with me, the world will urge you to hurry and prove, yet I invite you to remain and perceive. Panic scatters the pieces of truth, so you chase fragments. Peace gathers them into a whole you can finally understand. When you are calm, you are not weak, you are ready to see. Consider how the first light changes everything you thought you were seeing in the dark. Shapes that frightened you become harmless. Paths you could not find become visible. The same room, the same furniture, the same path. What changed? Light. So it is when I reveal what you could not see. I do not always change the circumstance in a flash, but I give you a truer sight within it, and that seeing alone protects you from walking into harm. You do not need to run. You need to see. You do not need to argue. You need to recognize. You do not need to tighten your fists. You need to open your eyes in my presence. Remain with me in this quiet. Let the nervous stories you tell yourself dissolve like mist before the sun. I am not accusing you of naivete. I am affirming that what you felt was real. The uneasiness without clear explanation, the subtle restlessness, the reluctance to agree quickly, these have often been signals of my spirit restraining you. Do you see? When you honor that restraint, you are not being unkind. You are being kept. When you pause for me, you are not losing time. You are being aligned. Remain long enough to listen more clearly. As it is written, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. If I am your light, you are not required to live suspicious, only surrendered to what I show you. If I am your salvation, you are not required to brace for punishment, only to welcome the rescue I extend. Fear says, hide or hurry. Light says, be still and see. When fear drives, even good information becomes a weapon against your peace. When peace leads, even hard truth becomes a door to safety. Understand this. Exposure is not me tearing the roof off your life to embarrass you. It is me opening the shutters so air can circulate and mold cannot grow unseen. My beloved, I care about your breath, your sleep, your thoughts, the steadiness of your days. Darkness threatens those spaces quietly, drip by drip upon stone, but no darkness is stronger than truth. I am teaching you to receive revelation without collapsing under it, to hear without hardening, to notice without accusing yourself of distrust. This is wisdom maturing in you. So come to me now with open hands. Say within yourself, I choose the light. Lift your eyes from the whirlwind of what-ifs, and let my peace rest upon you like morning. I will show you what you need to see, and nothing meant to harm you. I will guide you to step when it is time, and to wait when it is mercy to wait. Today, allow this to be first light over your confusion. Let the horizon brighten. Let the edges of what troubled you take their true shape. I am with you in this revealing. I am not shaming you. I am shielding you. And as you receive what I uncover in peace, you will find your heart steadied, your steps clarified, and your path unfolding beneath the warmth of my faithful dawn. My beloved, now that the first light has settled over your confusion and your breathing has slowed, let me draw you closer to the quiet, the place where my restraint speaks before danger is named. I am not here to put weight upon your chest. I am here to lift the pressure that has pressed you into false urgency. Hear me. There is an alarm I place within you that does not shout, that does not siren through the streets of your mind. It hums softly like a low bell. It rests upon your shoulder like a hand that says, "Not there, not yet, look again." You have felt it as unease without language, as a joy that fades the closer you draw to a certain door, as a fog that descends over choices that once seemed simple, as sleeplessness that stirs you at hours when I am inviting you to notice what you tried to ignore. Do you see how often this has visited you at the threshold, just before you step deeper? Do you recognize the pattern of interruption when a conversation tilts toward compromise, when a habit stretches for one more day, when an agreement waits for your name to be fixed upon it? You have called this anxiety, and sometimes your body has indeed learned fear from past storms. But often what you labeled panic was my protection, gentle, early, faithful. I am not the author of confusion. I am the giver of light. Fear snatches at your sleeve and drags you forward with eyes wide and thoughts scattered. Discernment rests a hand upon your heart and bids you be still. Fear rushes your speech, forces your yes, and then abandons you to clean up the echo. Discernment slows your breathing, steadies your attention, and keeps your feet from paths that would cost you more than you know. Not panic, but pause. Not accusation, but alignment. Not noise, but knowing. Consider the signs that return like small waves upon the same shore. The laughter that feels hollow when a certain name arises. The mind that cannot hold clarity around one relationship, though it holds clarity everywhere else. The chill that pricks your skin when praise comes too quickly and flattery feels like honey that hides the hook. The way your nights stretch long after conversations that promise peace, but always leave you stirring. The unexplained relief you feel when a plan is delayed. The heaviness that lands the moment you say yes against your own better sense. My child, these are not random weather patterns of the soul. They are instruments finely tuned to my touch, and I have been striking the quiet chord that tells you, wait. Do you see how you keep revisiting the same thought as if pulled by an unseen thread? Do you notice the interruption that meets you each time you attempt to step where I have not given you peace? This is not cruelty, this is care. I restrain you because I see the bend in the road that you do not yet see. You ask, but how do I know if this is fear or if this is you? Hear the difference. Fear demands spectacle. demands proof loud enough to silence its own terror. Discernment asks for light. Fear scrambles your mind, multiplies what-ifs, and magnifies shadows until everything looks like a threat. Discernment steadies your spirit with a simple, quiet clarity. Not this, or not now, or look more closely here. Fear tells you to hurry so you cannot think. Discernment invites you to pause so you can see. Fear will not allow you to breathe. Discernment begins with breath. So here is your first step, small and holy. Pause, breathe, place your hand over your heart and say, "Give me light, not theater. Give me peace, not drama." Ask not for fireworks, but for a lamp that shows the next few feet of your path. Ask not to be proven right, but to be kept. Ask me to reveal whether this restraint is correction, redirection, or simple protection for a time, and then remain long enough to listen more clearly. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. I am not far, I am a whisper close. When you heed my restraint, you are not being unloving, you are choosing life. When you slow a conversation that is racing, you are not being difficult, you are refusing to be driven by fear. When you say, I need a moment, you are not losing opportunities, you are recovering authority over your own steps. Pay attention to the fruit that emerges in the moments you honor the pause. A steadier pulse, a thought that lines up with truth, a release in your chest, a clearer boundary forming without anger. And notice also the fruit that follows when you ignore it. Restlessness that will not quit. A story you must keep justifying. A tiredness that sleep cannot fix. I am not punishing you in either case. I am educating you in the language of peace. Do not accuse your heart of weakness because it alerts you. The smoke alarm is not dramatic because it sounds. It is faithful because it warns while the flame is small. In the same way, my spirit in you will nudge you away from tables where charm is heavy and truth is thin, from rooms where your soul shrinks to keep the peace, from patterns that feed you sugar and steal your strength. I am not asking you to live suspicious. I am teaching you to live attentive. Suspicion stares outward for enemies. Attentiveness turns inward to listen for my yes and my no. Suspicion hardens. Attentiveness makes you tender and wise. My beloved, you are not late and you are not failing because you need to pause. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. One quiet refusal, born of peace, is greater than 1,000 hurried agreements born of fear. Come to me whenever the fog returns. Whisper, light, Lord. Whisper, your peace be my guide. Then wait through the first wave of urgency until it breaks and the surface of your soul becomes clear enough to see again. I will not leave you guessing. I will not tire of teaching. I will hold you at the shoulder of decision and keep you until the path opens, and when it does, you will step forward with a calm that does not need to defend itself. Pause now. Breathe. Ask for light rather than proof. Ask for peace rather than drama. I am here instructing you, teaching you, counseling you with my eye upon you. Take the restraint you feel as a gift and let it awaken you not to terror, but to the gentle, protecting wisdom that will keep you from harm and lead you into the freedom of my light. My beloved, remain with me in this quiet a moment longer, for now I will show you not only the feeling that warned you, but the room where that feeling was born. Secrecy is not merely information withheld. It is an environment where air grows stale, where mold gathers in the corners, where sound is muffled so patterns can grow without interruption. When you agree to silence that keeps the peace at the cost of your soul, you create the very climate in which distortion thrives. Do you see? Darkness does not need your loud agreement. It only asks for your quiet absence from the light. It only needs you to stop naming what is true, to stop inviting me to breathe through the room, to stop opening the shutters to the morning. I am not asking you to rehearse every detail or chase every whisper. I am inviting you to name the fruit of the environment you have been in, to recognize what it has produced in you. Confusion instead of clarity, shrinking instead of standing, self-doubt where once there was steady confidence, isolation where you used to belong, a need to explain yourself continually as if you are always almost wrong. When a space, a relationship, a pattern continually requires your silence to function, that silence is not kindness. It is bondage dressed as diplomacy, not peace but pressure, not unity but control, not honor but a hush that keeps the machinery of harm well oiled. There are patterns that only survive when the light is kept out. Hear them named not as gossip, but as wisdom that protects you. Manipulation that offers gifts, with hooks hidden in the ribbon, that flatters and then collects what it is owed. Double speech that smiles in one room and wounds in another, that says, "You are safe here," while sowing suspicion about you elsewhere. Covert control that does not confront directly but moves pieces behind the scenes, that punishes you, not with words but with access withdrawn, with opportunities mysteriously missing, with relationships chilled by whispers. Hidden alliances that triangulate, private agreements that make you the topic but never the participant. Webs where loyalty is demanded but never reciprocated. Private ridicule, jokes that only land when you are not in the room. A familiar tone that reduces you to a caricature, so your real voice feels too large to use. Spiritualizing harm, using my name to pressure your compliance. Cloaking manipulation in verses, calling your boundaries rebellion and your questions pride. Selective honesty, speaking in half-lights, reporting the parts that exonerate and hiding the parts that would require repentance. And the mask that appears holy in public but harms in private. The performance of kindness that leaves bruises no one can see. Do you recognize how these things feed upon silence? They do not need you to accuse. They need you to avoid noticing. They thrive when you swallow the small alarms, when you edit yourself to keep favor, when you ask me to bless what I am quietly restraining you from entering. I do not say this to inflame you, but to free you from cooperating unknowingly with what harms you. My child, when you are asked to cover what is breaking you, you are being recruited into your own diminishment. You ask, but how do I respond without becoming hard? How do I discern without turning suspicious of everyone? Hear me. Attend to fruit, not theater. Watch patterns, not isolated moments. Truth does not require you to be paranoid. It invites you to be faithful to what I place in your hands. What emerges in you after you are with them? Peace or confusion? Does your courage expand, or do you fold smaller to fit? Do you begin to doubt what you know I have spoken to you? Do your nights grow longer, your laughter thinner, your prayer life quieter because you fear what light might reveal? Pay attention, not to collect ammunition, but to understand atmosphere. If you must keep secrets to stay connected, you are paying with your light, and that is too high a price. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am not scolding you for not seeing sooner. I am opening the window now. There are forms of mercy that first feel like exposure. When I pull back the curtain, it is not to shame you, but to show you why your chest has been tight, why your confidence has been eroded grain by grain, why your joy felt like a candle trying to burn in a room with no oxygen. I am placing language in your mouth so you can agree with me in peace. This environment is shaping me in darkness. I choose the light. As it is written, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be brought to light. Luke 8:17. Truth has a destination, it arrives. Light has a nature, it reveals to heal. I do not ask you to run out and make speeches. I ask you to stop rehearsing their defense inside your own mind. I ask you to release the compulsion to call poison honey. I ask you to let my restraint stand without apology while I align your steps. You do not need to catalog their every move. You need to acknowledge what those moves produce in you and before me. Do you see? When you name the fruit, the fog lifts. When you bring the environment to me, the air begins to change. When you refuse to lie to yourself to keep the room calm, courage returns like circulation to a numb hand. There is a quiet courage that does not accuse, does not exaggerate, does not echo the very tactics it is leaving. It simply stops cooperating with darkness. It stops delivering itself to rooms that require smaller versions of you. It stops agreeing to unsaid rules that keep abuse hidden and calls that silence love. My beloved, I am teaching you that loving the light is the most faithful love you can offer to me, to yourself, and even to those trapped in patterns they do not yet name. Light does not conspire, it invites. Light does not manipulate, it clarifies. Light does not weaponize my words, it uses them as a lamp to your feet. Take this into your next steps. Pause before you justify what confuses you. Look for peace, not permission. Tell me the truth without editing. When I am there, I shrink. When I listen, I lose myself. When I agree, I cannot sleep. I will meet you in that honesty and begin to restore your sight. I will show you the seams in the mask, the joints in the machinery, the open door I am providing. You are not called to suspicion, you are called to light. And in the light, you will not keep shrinking to fit darkness that refuses to change. In the light, you will find your voice without venom, your boundaries without bitterness, and your steps guided not by fear of fallout, but by the steady hand of my peace. Remain with me. I am here, and I am making the hidden plain, not to harm you, but to bring you safely into freedom. My beloved, remain in this quiet and let me place tools in your hands. I have shown you what has been shaping you. Now I teach you how to see without accusation, how to observe without becoming hard. Discernment matures not by collecting dramatic moments, but by measuring consistent fruit. Do not let a performance of change overshadow a pattern of harm. I do not ask you to memorize every detail. I ask you to notice the direction over time. What grows when you stay, what returns after apologies are made, what stabilizes when you pause, what unravels when you press for truth. Fruit over moments, patterns over promises, consistency over charisma. Begin here. When you ask a simple question, what enters the room? Clarity or deflection? Is your question answered plainly, or does the answer turn into a maze that you are asked to run, a fog that asks you to apologize for getting lost in it? When responsibility is on the table, is there ownership or reversal? Do they say, I see it, I am sorry, here is how I will repair it? Or does the conversation turn until the fault sits in your lap and you are comforting the very one who wounded you? When you offer a calm boundary, do you meet peace or punishment? Is there respect for your no, or is your no treated as betrayal that must be disciplined by distance, coldness, or sudden loss of access? When you bring truth near, do you find humility or theatrics, tears without change, grand gestures that fade within days, speeches that sound like repentance but avoid practical steps? Listen for this: truth under pressure. When there are no witnesses, does the story shift? When time passes, does the story stay aligned? When you speak with gentleness, do you hear gentleness return? Or do your words come back to you sharpened? My beloved, accountability is not cruelty. It is the simplest form of love that refuses to lie. Those who desire light will thank you, even if slowly. Those who need darkness to keep their power will call your light an attack. I want you to carry a calm checklist within, not as suspicion, but as simplicity that keeps you in peace. Pause and ask yourself, after conversations, after decisions, after rooms where your soul feels small, do I leave with peace or with a cloud I cannot name? Did a simple question receive a simple answer, or was I moved through side doors and explanations that multiplied? Did I witness responsibility that led to change, or apology that asked me to lower my memory? Did my boundary stand without penalty, or did I pay with coldness, access, opportunity, or reputation? Did humility appear as steady listening and repair, or as theater that demanded my praise? Did I sense the presence of my peace gathering the pieces together, or the pressure of confusion scatter them so I could not hold a single thread? As it is written, God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. If confusion blooms again and again after these interactions, you are not failing at love. You are being alerted that the environment is working against truth. Darkness does not always shout. It blurs. It smudges edges so right looks almost wrong and wrong feels almost right. It presses you into questions that revolve without landing. It tempts you to choose relief over reality. Do you see how many times you have apologized for what you did not do just to make the conversation end? Do you see how you have begun to feel you must earn basic respect that should have been honored without price? That pressure is not my way. That is the economy of manipulation where attention is currency and access must be purchased with silence. You say, but I do not want to become hard. I do not want to accuse. Hear me. Observing fruit is not accusation. It is honesty that protects what I have entrusted to you. You can keep a soft heart while closing ungodly loops. A soft heart says, I will not slander you. A steady spine says, I will not partner with confusion. A soft heart says, I bless the good I see. A steady spine says, I will not ignore the harm I feel. Not bitterness, but boundaries. Not suspicion, but sobriety. Not accusation, but alignment with light. Watch for consistency. Does change endure when nobody is clapping? Are words matched by quiet, measurable steps? Calls made, amends pursued, timelines kept, counsel welcomed without stage lighting? Or is there a surge of effort that fades once you relax your vigilance? Accountability that requires your constant policing is not repentance. It is performance auditioning for your approval. True repentance seeks light on its own. It knocks on accountability's door because it desires to be free, not because it fears being caught. Test for truth under pressure. When truth is pressed, it does not spill poison. It releases more truth. When you share how you were affected, does the conversation open to your reality, or is your memory cross-examined until you doubt it? When witnesses are present, does kindness bloom, only to disappear once the room is empty? This split self is a pattern, not a moment. Do not be distracted by isolated kindness that serves as cover. Weigh the weeks, the months, the returning fruit. Let peace be your metric. My peace does not demand that you abandon awareness. My peace does not ask you to forget what hurts you to prove you are merciful. My peace involves clarity. It settles fog. It straightens what was twisted. When you are in step with me, you will not need to over-explain your no, and you will not need to invent stories to defend your sense. You will simply rest in the light you have, and your steps will be guarded by it. Now practice this. After the next conversation that leaves you restless, do not run to perform reconciliation you do not yet possess. Pause, breathe, write what you observed without editing. The question you asked, the answer you received, the feeling that followed, the boundary you offered, the response it met. Bring it to me and say, tell me the truth. Keep me from hardness. Keep me from confusion. Then wait long enough to notice whether peace gathers or scatters. If peace settles like morning, step. If confusion swirls like mist that never lifts, be still. Your refusal to move with confusion is not delay, it is protection. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am teaching you the rhythm of wisdom. Notice, name, wait, weigh, and walk in peace. Fruit will tell you the truth, and time will make the patterns plain. Hold to me. Let your heart remain soft, your boundaries steady, your words few, your eyes clear. And remember, peace is my confirmation. Confusion is your warning. Follow the light. My beloved, remain in this quiet with me, and let me place into your hands the way I confirm what I reveal. You do not need to spiral, to gather every piece in a frenzy, to build a case like a prosecutor to justify your sense. I do not ask you to prove, I promise to confirm. And I do so by 3 witnesses that do not argue with one another, my word, my peace, and time. Hear me. When I am speaking, these 3 align. They do not rush you into spectacle. They settle you into light. First, my word. I do not speak against what I have already spoken. Bring what you perceive into the lamp of Scripture and ask, does this align with my character and my commands? Not the verse you can bend to excuse confusion, but the counsel that stands even when it corrects your desire. My word exposes flattery, condemns oppression, honors truth, protects the weak, celebrates repentance that bears fruit, and sets boundaries around manipulation dressed in religion. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. And again, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Isaiah 8:20. Do you see, my child? When you hold a situation up to my word, it will either clarify or convict, but it will not collude with confusion. Second, my peace. Not the temporary relief of avoidance, but a deep, unforced settling that remains when the room empties and the applause is gone. Peace that lingers through scrutiny, peace that can sleep, peace that does not need you to over-explain. As it is written, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Let peace be the umpire, the one who calls safe or out. Do not confuse numbness for peace. Numbness is what you feel when you have silenced yourself too long. Peace gathers what is true and gives you courage to act without venom. If you must hype yourself up to move, that is not peace, that is adrenaline. Hear me. When you move before peace, you surrender discernment to adrenaline. Third, time. Truth becomes clearer when allowed to breathe. Pressure demands a decision in the fog. Wisdom waits for the mist to lift. Patterns do not fear daylight or duration. They are either reinforced by time or they dissolve under it. Give me days, sometimes weeks, to confirm by repetition what you suspect. Watch what returns when no one is staging it. As it is written, by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses, every matter shall be established. 2 Corinthians 13:1. I will not leave you guessing. I will let the same note sound again until you can hear it without strain. Now I invite you into small, steady practices that make room for these witnesses to speak. Begin with brief silence each day. 2 to 5 minutes is enough to reorient the inner ear. Sit, breathe, and say, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." Do not demand a download. Ask for a lamp. Then journal without editing. Date the page. Write what feels restrained, and list the places where your spirit pauses. A name, a plan, a conversation, a habit. Beside each, write what fruit follows. Peace or confusion, clarity or fog, expansion or shrinking. Close by, praying simply, Father, if this is from you, establish it without striving. If it is not, remove it without confusion. Leave it there. Return to the page in 3 days. Notice what time has clarified without your pushing. Remain long enough to listen more clearly. Guard yourself against impulsive confrontation. I do not send you to set fires to prove you are brave. I do not need your adrenaline. I desire your obedience. Confrontation before confirmation often trades your authority for noise. It gives your peace away to the very patterns you are leaving. When the urge to rush rises, practice this holy intervention. Pause, breathe. Step outside if you can. Whisper, I choose light, not theater. I choose your pace, not pressure. If the matter truly requires urgency, my peace will quicken you without panic. It will focus you without frenzy. Otherwise, I will keep you in stillness until action ripens. Invite wise counsel into this process, not as a crowdsourced verdict, but as safety that steers you away from your blind spots. Choose counselors who love me, who are not impressed by them and not intimidated by you. Steady people who handle truth without gossip and boundaries without bitterness. Bring them the fruit you have observed, not your fury. Bring them the scriptures you sense, not your speculation. As it is written, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Safety, not spectacle. Counsel, not consensus. Let their questions refine you. Let their prayers join yours for light without timeline. If their guidance increases peace, clarity, and alignment with my word over time, receive it as confirmation. If it stirs drama and demands haste, step back. That is not the multitude I sent. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am not grading you on how quickly you act, but on whether you walk in the light you have. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. One step taken under my word with my peace in my time will preserve more of your life than 100 leaps driven by fear. Trust me to confirm. I am not hiding from you. I am teaching you to be kept. So come, today, even now, into the stillness where I seal what I show. Open your hands and say, Light, Lord. Open your journal and tell the truth without edits. Ask for counselors who carry my heart and will not flatter you. Refuse the rush that breaks your listening, and watch. My word will align, my peace will remain, and time will bear witness, until you can rise not in panic but in quiet certainty, as it is written, He who believes will not make haste. Isaiah 28:16. Walk with me in this calm. I will confirm what I reveal, and my confirmations will arrive with peace, alignment, and time, not pressure. My beloved, remain with me as the light you have received becomes the path beneath your feet. I have settled you with confirmation so you would not move in panic. Now I quicken you so you will not be lulled by delay. Do you see? Once I give you light, the danger is no longer confusion. It is postponement dressed as wisdom. Later begins to speak softly, and while you wait for a feeling of perfect certainty that never comes, the snare remains around your ankle and calls it patience. Delay does not shout, it whispers with a kind voice. It sounds reasonable, even spiritual. Do not overreact, do not rock the boat. Endure a little longer. Wait until you have just the right words. It is not that bad today. People will not understand. Build a stronger case. Pray more first, but not the kind of praying that changes anything, just the kind that keeps you in place. Be long-suffering. Be nice. It rehearses mercy without movement, maturity without boundaries, love without light. It suggests that clarity must become certainty without remainder before you are allowed to take one step of obedience. Hear me. Certainty that removes all risk is not faith. It is control wearing religious clothing. The cost of such postponement is hidden at first because it accumulates like dust. Each "not today" trains your soul to tolerate what I am trying to remove. Each, after the next apology, teaches your boundaries to grow numb. Each, once this season ends, dims your joy a fraction, and the color drains from your days one subtle shade at a time. Your sleep grows thin. Your laughter grows careful. Your prayers become safe, not honest. You begin to manage light instead of walking in it. Delay is how the trap stays quiet. It lulls you while the teeth close without a sound. It tells you that peace will come if you just endure a little longer, but the only peace that follows delay is the numbness of a limb that has lost circulation. I do not speak this to condemn you, but to shield you. I have given you witnesses, my word, my peace, and time, and now I call you to move with the light you have. Not wild leaps fueled by adrenaline, but the first faithful step that places you under my protection. Obedience is a shelter you step beneath before the rain soaks you. It is the turning of your face toward the door I have opened while it can still be found. As it is written, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3:15. Today, not tomorrow, shaped like today. Today, not an endless series of almosts. There are moments when a door is quietly closing and you do not hear the hinge, when grace has arranged circumstances, timing, counsel, and courage in a narrow window, and delay slips in like a soft hand to draw the curtain shut. Watch, therefore. Do not drift. Do not negotiate with what steals your peace. The prudent see danger and take refuge. The simple keep going and pay the price. As it is written, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. Proverbs 27:12. Precaution is not fear. It is wisdom that honors the light. You ask, but what if I move and I am wrong? Hear me. It is easier to steer a moving child than to drag a frozen one. I can correct a step that seeks me. I can reroute a heart that has already said yes. I am your shepherd. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. If you move in obedience to the light I have given, my peace will accompany you and expand. If you stay where confusion reigns, waiting for a perfect feeling, your clarity will thin and your courage will leak out through the cracks. Do not give your courage away to a calendar that never arrives. What does obedience look like now? It is often smaller and quieter than the drama in your head. It is a sentence sent without apology. I will not be attending. It is a boundary stated without defense. I'm not available for this conversation in that way. It is a calendar changed, a seat chosen across the room, an access point closed, a meeting deferred until counsel can be present, a pattern interrupted by silence. It is telling the truth in your journal and then telling the truth once to the right person, with gentleness, without theater. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. As it is written, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. Do not bargain with your discernment. Do not hand it back for the price of brief relief. Delay loves to attach itself to noble words. It will borrow forgiveness to mean no boundaries, patience to mean no plan, honor to mean hush, faith to mean refusal to act. In my kingdom, forgiveness makes room for boundaries. Patience partners with process. Honor tells the truth, and faith walks where the lamp shines, even when the horizon is not yet visible. I am not calling you to suspicion. I am calling you to movement in the light you possess. One step, then the next. And with each step, your peace will not thin. It will thicken. If, as you hear me, pressure tries to masquerade as urgency, if your chest tightens and frenzy begins to speak, pause and return to the witnesses. I do not drive you like a taskmaster. I lead you like a shepherd. Yet know this. The longer you wait after light is given, the more expensive obedience becomes. Not because I grow harsh, but because habits harden, alliances deepen, explanations tangle, and your own heart grows accustomed to the dim. You are not being punished by time. You are being shaped by what you practice within it. Practice light. So stand now in this quiet and answer me with your own mouth. I will not delay. Then act in a way that agrees with your words. Cancel what needs canceling. Confirm what needs confirming. Move your chair. Pick up the phone. Ask for the meeting with wise presence included. Decline the opportunity that requires your silence as payment. Schedule the counsel. Open the window. Step through the door. I will go before you, and I will be your rear guard. As it is written, watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour. Matthew 25:13. This is not abandonment. I have never left you. I am not asking you to run into a storm without me. I am inviting you to step out of a storm I have already stilled within your heart. Once I give you light, delay becomes darkness in disguise. Obedience protects you now. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Come, walk with me while the path is bright, and you will find that what felt like loss was me closing the door behind you, so the trap could not follow. My beloved, I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. I am not shaming you, I am shielding you. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I do not lift the veil to embarrass you, but to protect you. When light enters a room, it does not accuse the furniture. It simply reveals what is there so you do not stumble. I have given you light not to inflame your heart, but to steady it so you can confirm the truth in peace, set holy boundaries without fear, and walk forward in light and freedom. Do you see? The exposure you feel is my mercy. The correction you sense is my rescue. You say, but why now? Why so sudden? Hear me. What you call disruption may be my restraint, a plan that collapses at the last moment, a door that will not open no matter how politely you knock, a message left unanswered, a sudden clarity about a voice you once allowed to define you. Do not rush to label these rejections. There are times I move in front of you and turn the handle the other way. There are times I thicken the air between you and what would drain you, so your lungs learn to refuse it. There are times I let silence answer where flattery once spoke, not to humiliate you, but to dry up the stream that has been watering confusion. You prayed for protection. This is protection. You asked for wisdom. This is wisdom refusing to let you enter agreements that would imprison you later. Consider Jonah, my child. He ran in the opposite direction, carrying a calling he did not want to carry, and a storm rose on the sea. The wind was fierce and the waves were high, not to destroy him, but to prevent him from going further down the wrong path. I sent a great fish to hold him when he had no strength to turn himself around. That belly was not a grave, it was a classroom. That darkness was not punishment, it was an intervention that preserved his life and his calling. Do you see the pattern? When I move in this way, I am not against you. I am fiercely for you. There are forms of mercy that do not appear gentle on the surface, but they keep you from shores you would spend years escaping. As it is written, the Lord disciplines those he loves. Proverbs 3:12. I know you hoped it would be different. I know you carried a picture in your heart of what this relationship, this opportunity, this path might become if only you could be patient enough, selfless enough, resilient enough to make it work. When I pull back the curtain and you see what has been shaping you in secret, grief rises and you wonder if your tears are a sign of doubt. Hear me. Grief is not disobedience. Grief is often the doorway to freedom. When you mourn what you hoped it was, you make room to receive what it truly is. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. I am not asking you to harden. I am asking you to be honest. Let the tears clear the fog. Let the ache tell the truth. Let the small funeral you hold in your heart, for what will not be become the altar where you lay down. The need to save what does not want to be saved. Some of you are tempted to judge yourselves. for not seeing earlier, for glossing over red flags, for confusing apology with repentance, charm with character, spiritual talk with spiritual fruit. But I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. You are not being graded on how quickly you awaken. You are being guarded as you do. I have never left you. Even in the places where you stayed beyond wisdom, I stood watch. I dimmed your appetite for what was draining you. I surfaced conversations you did not want to have. I arranged delays and interruptions so you would have a chance to breathe before you made a choice that would bind you longer. My child, I have been shielding you while you learned to call light, light, and darkness, darkness. Here is what I want you to do now. Release the shame that tries to attach itself to your awakening. Shame says, "How could I have let this happen?" Mercy says, "Thank you, Father, for not letting it continue." Shame replays conversations to prove your foolishness. Mercy rewrites your next sentence in the light. Speak with me, plainly. I receive your shield. I accept your intervention. Turn my losses into lessons, my tears into clarity, my boundaries into peace. And then allow yourself to rest. You do not need to defend why you are stepping back. You do not need to argue your way out of manipulation. You do not need to publish a verdict or gather an audience. Stand in the light I have given you and keep your heart soft. Boundaries are not bitterness, they are how love stays truthful. Understand that when I expose, I also cover. I do not strip you naked before a hostile crowd. I clothe you with discernment and guide you to safe counsel. I do not parade your missteps. I redeem them and teach you wisdom you could not have learned in comfort. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. The rod does not strike you. It strikes what would devour you. The staff does not shame you. It draws you close when you begin to drift. Exposure is not me pushing you away. It is me pulling you back into alignment with the life I have prepared for you. And yes, there will be a sense of loss, an empty chair where a voice used to sit, a calendar that looks bare where noise used to fill it, a habit of explaining yourself that goes unused. Let the space remain empty for a while. Do not rush to fill it with a new distraction. In that space, I will restore what secrecy stole. Your sleep, your laughter, your steady confidence, your clear mind. You will not live suspicious. You will live in light. You will not be ruled by fear. You will be led by peace. What feels like loss today will be revealed as a shield when you look back and say, had you not closed that door, I would have walked into a deeper wound. So come now, rest under my hand. Lay down the story you were carrying and receive the one I am writing. This is not rejection. This is rescue. This is not humiliation. This is healing. This is not the end of your tenderness. It is the restoration of your strength. As it is written, the Lord disciplines those he loves. Proverbs 3:12. I am loving you in this very moment by guarding your steps, and I will finish what I have begun. Walk with me. Let mercy do its rescue. Let exposure be your freedom. My beloved, now we move from healing to action, not the theater of reaction, but the holiness of response. I do not stir you to fight for your image, but to guard your life. I am placing in your mouth and in your hands a way to walk without fear, boundaries that stay holy and a heart that stays soft. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I do not ask you to harden, I teach you to be whole. I do not ask you to accuse, I train you to be clear. Hear me. You can step back without attacking. You can speak plainly without performing anger. You can close a door without cursing those on the other side. Peace is your posture and truth is your protection. Understand the difference between venting and clarity. Venting tries to wound. Clarity simply names what is and chooses light. When you answer confusion with fury, you lose the authority of the light I have given you. When you answer confusion with calm, consistent truth, the light does its work without you raising your voice. Do you see? I am not sending you to expose for spectacle. I am calling you to walk in truth and let light reveal what it reveals. As it is written, above all else, guard your heart. Proverbs 4:23. Guarding is not hiding. It is choosing what may enter and what must now remain outside. Here is how a holy no sounds. It is brief, clear, and without barbs. It does not demand agreement to be real. Practice these sentences and let them become a shelter for you. I am not available for this conversation in that way. I will not be attending. I will only meet with a trusted third party present. Please contact me only by text/email. I will respond within 2 business days. I do not consent to being spoken to in that tone. If it continues, I will leave. I am stepping back from this role/relationship at this time. That is not accurate. I will not debate my experience. My no is final. Do you hear the cadence? Few words. No apology for existing. No performance to purchase permission. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Consistency is the spine of holy boundaries. You do not need better words. You need the same words said the same way over time. Refuse the invitation to litigate your reality. Those who benefit from your silence prefer an endless debate, because debate delays obedience. You are not obligated to produce evidence to be free. I have already given you witnesses, my word, my peace, and time, and they align without you hosting a trial. If you are accused of being harsh because you are clear, anchor again. Is my peace increasing as I hold this line? Does my word affirm truth-telling, dignity, and protection of the weak within me? Has time revealed a pattern that demands change? Then hold your line. You are not angry. You are awake. Differentiate wisdom from vengeance. Wisdom closes access to harm. Vengeance tries to make them feel what you felt. Wisdom says, I will not grant you the benefits of closeness without the fruits of trust. Vengeance says, I will ruin your name. You are not called to ruin, you are called to light. When you choose wisdom, you may still be misunderstood for a time, but I am your vindication. As it is written, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light. Psalm 37:5-6. Let me be in charge of outcomes. You be in charge of obedience. Call your integrity to the front. Stop sharing intimate access with those who keep secrets that harm. Stop granting private privileges to public patterns of dishonor. Stop investing explanations where fruit refuses to grow. Access follows fruit. Closeness follows trust. Examine your agreements. Passwords, calendars, finances, stories, platform, prayer circles. Ask, does this access match the fruit? If not, reduce access without rage. Change the password. Adjust the calendar. Reassign the role. Move the meeting to a public space. Add counsel to the conversation. Do it quietly when possible, clearly when necessary, and always with the safety of truth. Put structure around your softness. Soft hearts need strong gates. Choose your channels of communication and keep to them. Decide your response windows and honor them. Document boundaries once, then refer back to what you have already said instead of re-explaining. Practice an exit line for when a conversation turns manipulative. I will continue when we can both speak respectfully. Then leave. Agree in advance with a trusted ally how you will recenter when guilt tries to pull you back. A verse you will pray, a number you will call, a walk you will take, a journal you will open. Small structures carry great peace. Bless, do not curse. This is how your heart stays soft even while your lines remain firm. Pray simple prayers that keep you free. Father, bless them with truth and heal what is broken. Father, I release them from my courtroom. You are the judge. Father, search me and keep me from bitterness. You are not required to feel warm to bless. Blessing is your agreement with me that vengeance does not belong to you. As it is written, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. Good does not mean gullible. Good means grounded in me. Expect pushback without fear. Confusion rarely yields at the first boundary. It will question your tone, your timing, your loyalty, your faith. It will offer sudden kindness to test whether your no is anchored to me or to their behavior. Answer with the same line you already spoke. Do not escalate. Do not explain again. The boundary teaches more clearly than your argument ever could. Over time, patterns either repent and bear fruit or reveal themselves without your assistance. Your consistency is the sermon. Return often to stillness. Review your lines with me. If your words heat with contempt, pause and cleanse them. Replace accusation with description. Not, you are manipulative, but when X happens, I feel pressured. I am not available for that. Replace prophecy about their future with clarity about your choice. Not, you will never change, but I am changing how I engage. Replace sarcasm with silence. Silence speaks without scarring. If a boundary fails, strengthen the structure, not the volume. And when grief visits again because boundaries rearrange what felt familiar, welcome it as a companion to healing, not a counsel to return. Sit with me and name what you miss. The idea, the habit, the version of yourself that over-functioned to keep peace. Then rise and hold your line with tenderness. I am with you in the practice, with you in the pauses, with you in the misunderstood moments. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. The rod guards the perimeter, and the staff keeps your heart close. This is how you respond without fear. Holy boundaries, soft heart, no partnership with confusion. Guard your heart, not with walls of bitterness, but with gates of wisdom. Speak few words with much truth. Step back without spite. Let light do what only light can do, and you will find that peace not only remains, it increases. As it is written, above all else guard your heart. Proverbs 4:23. Walk in this, my beloved, I will keep you. My beloved, when you hold the line I gave you, you will see faces change. Do not be alarmed. I am not sending you into battle without armor. I am teaching you what resistance looks like so you can remain at peace. Masks slip when light arrives. What hid behind charm now argues its case. What fed on your silence now tries to trade kindness for access. This is not because you have done evil. It is because you have chosen light. Hear me. I am with you in this testing. I am not condemning you. I am protecting you. Remain with me in the quiet place before you answer any sound that rises. Expect the predictable and do not be surprised by it. Denial will come dressed as confusion. I never said that. You misunderstood. Minimization will shrug at the damage. It wasn't that serious. You're being dramatic. Blame will turn like a mirror and place your boundary on trial. If you had just communicated better, I wouldn't have reacted. Spiritual guilt will recite verses from a wounded place. Aren't you supposed to forgive? Aren't you called to honor? Are you not being judgmental? And sudden kindness will arrive with flowers made of words, compliments, apologies that ask for no change, promises that sprint for a day and sleep for a month. Do you see how clarity is treated as betrayal? Do you see how your boundaries are called unloving the moment they cost someone the fruit of their pattern? Here is your safety. Return to stillness before every reply. Do not argue your worth. Do not host a debate to prove your memory. Do not purchase peace with access. Breathe and ask, what do the witnesses say? My word, my peace, and time. If peace expands when you hold your line, remain. If peace vanishes when you reopen what I closed, pause and return. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. This is how you stay above the storm even while the wind tries your windows. As it is written, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Understand the test of consistency. Change that is real endures, adjusts, and bears fruit without demanding instant closeness as payment. Manipulation changes only long enough to regain access. It is a performance measured by your compliance. Watch what happens when your no remains. Does kindness continue when your no stands, or does it sour into accusation the moment access is not granted? Does repentance stay steady when no audience applauds, or does it require your constant reassurance to keep going? You will know them by their fruits, not their phrases. As it is written, by their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:16. Fruit and time agree with truth. Pressure and hurry agree with control. When spiritual guilt tries to soften your line, remember what I have taught you. Forgiveness does not equal unguarded access. Honor is not the same as silence in the face of harm. Mercy does not require you to return to what breaks you. Your calling is to walk in light, not to manage the image of those who resist it. As it is written, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Ephesians 5:11. Exposure, in your case, is not a public broadcast. It is a private clarity that refuses partnership with confusion. Let your answers be brief and clean. I forgive you, and I am not returning. I honor your image-bearer dignity, and I am changing how I engage. I am praying for your good, and my boundary remains. Sudden kindness is a frequent visitor when you awaken. Gifts will appear, words will sweeten, gestures will multiply. Receive every genuine gift with gratitude, but do not trade your discernment for flattery. Ask again, what survives the presence of my no? What continues when I do not explain? If the sweetness fades into sharpness when you do not move, you have seen the substance. Do not rebuke the performance. You do not need to destroy the stage. Simply do not buy a ticket. Your boundary is not revenge. It is wisdom's shelter. Practice a clean no. This is how it sounds. One sentence, no embroidery, spoken once and then referred to, not re-argued. No, thank you. I am not available for that. My decision is final. I will only meet with counsel present. Please use this channel. I will respond within this time. And when pushback escalates, when tone rises, when guilt is stirred, when history is paraded, do not escalate in return. Keep your voice level, repeat the line, or end the conversation. Walk away if respect leaves the room. As it is written, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. Clean lines protect tender hearts. You ask, will I be misunderstood? For a time, perhaps, but hear me. You do not owe your freedom to the court of other people's opinions. I am your vindication. I will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your justice as the noonday. In the meantime, you are not required to rehearse injuries to justify your stance. You are not required to collapse your discernment to keep a version of peace that always cost you your peace. You are not cold. You are awake. You are not bitter. You are bounded. You are not unloving. You are learning to love in truth. If pressure continues, answer with structure, not stories. Put distance in days, alter the channel, invite a witness, document once, then let time do what arguments cannot. Pressure cannot abide a steady no. It thrives on a moving target. So stop moving. Remain with me. When shame knocks, invite me to answer. When fear asks for explanation, give it worship instead. When their sudden kindness arrives at your door, receive the blessing without surrendering the key. If it is from me, it will not demand that the lock be removed, to prove it. I keep you, my child. I do not drive you, I lead you. Consistency will be your shield. Stillness will be your wisdom. A clean no will be your open gate to peace. Walk in this, and you will watch storms spend themselves against the shelter I have built for you. What seeks to pull you back will weaken, not because you fought harder, but because you stood longer. And as you stand, I will restore your rest, your joy, your clear mind. You will not live suspicious. You will live awake. Hold your line with me, and light will keep you free. My beloved, you have held your line with me. Now I take your hand from defense into rebuilding. I do not only expose what is hidden, I restore what was taken from you in secret. I move you from the ache of disentangling into the quiet strength of being replenished. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. I do not speak to inflame you, but to heal you. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am near, and I am gentle, and I am thorough. As it is written, He restores my soul. Psalm 23:3. First, let us make a gentle inventory together, not a courtroom, but a sanctuary of truth. What did you normalize in order to survive? Constant apology for existing, the habit of shrinking your joy to avoid someone else's storm, explaining your why 3 times just to buy a moment of peace. Where did you shrink? Your laughter grew careful, your voice grew smaller, your creativity waited in the hallway while you asked permission to be yourself. What did you stop doing because it threatened someone's control? Did you stop journaling because your pages told the truth? Did you stop meeting with those who love you because isolation was demanded as loyalty? Did you stop resting because only exhaustion felt safe? Did you stop reading my word because the quiet made you brave? Bring these to me, not to scold you, but to retrieve them from the shadows. Do you see? Nothing kept in darkness remains without shaping you, and once brought into light, nothing retains the power it had in secret. I am resetting your identity. Hear me and let my words rewire what accusation named you. You are not too sensitive. You are suitably alert to what harms love. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a tuned instrument for truth. You are not hard to love. You are mine, already loved with everlasting kindness. You are not difficult. You are unwilling to agree with confusion. You are not a problem to be managed. You are a person to be honored. You are not an interruption. You are a temple. Peace is your inheritance. You do not have to earn it by pleasing what will never be satisfied. As it is written, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. As it is written, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. 1 Peter 2:9. Let these declarations become the ground under your feet. Now I will restore what secrecy drained. I restore your joy, not the loud celebration that masks pain, but the quiet gladness that rises for no reason other than I am with you. Watch how joy returns in ordinary ways, a laugh that does not brace for consequence, a song that finds your mouth while you wash the dishes, a sunrise that meets you like a friend. I restore your sleep. The night will not be a courtroom of replayed arguments. You will lie down and your nervous system will learn my voice as lullaby. As it is written, in peace I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. I restore your confidence, not bravado, but settled decision. You will stop polling every voice to legitimize what I have already made clear. You will trust the fruit you see and the peace I give. As it is written, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. I restore a clear mind. The fog will lift, the spinning will slow, and thought will become clean water again. You will be able to read without rereading, listen without bracing, and pray without bargaining. I restore your spiritual appetite. Where numbness dulled you, hunger will return. hunger for my word, hunger for honest worship, hunger for fellowship that does not demand you contort to remain accepted. You will taste and see again that I am good. This restoration comes with new rhythms that protect what is growing. Receive these as gifts, not chores. Scripture before conversation. Let my word set the temperature of your day before the world speaks. Even one psalm, one proverb, one gospel paragraph, lamp to your feet before you walk. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. Prayer before decisions. Pause, ask, listen. Do not spend what peace you have on choices you have not prayed through. Counsel before commitments. Do not carry alone what wise voices can help you weigh. Seek those who love me, love you, and are not impressed by position. As it is written, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Proverbs 15:22. Rest before reacting. When stirred by provocation, step away, breathe, lay your hand on your chest, and invite me to lead your next sentence. Return texts tomorrow. Answer emails after you sleep. Give your body a chance to tell you the truth your adrenaline hides. In returning and rest, you will be saved. In quietness and trust will be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Add small structures that carry great peace. A bedtime that honors your frame. A phone kept outside the room where you sleep. 10 minutes of unhurried breathing under my presence. A weekly walk without noise where you tell me the truth. Rebuild delight on purpose. Read what nourishes you. Make something with your hands. Stand in sunlight. Write gratitude that is specific, not vague. Meet with safe friends whose lives bear fruit. Laugh without explaining why you are laughing. Bless your body. It has carried you through alarms and deserves kindness. Eat what stabilizes you. Drink water. These are not small to me. These are gateways where peace enters. As joy returns, do not apologize for it. As sleep deepens, do not fill the regained hours with noise. As confidence rises, do not waste it litigating with those who prefer you unsure. As your mind clears, do not volunteer for confusion again. Guard what is being restored. Watch your intake. Conversations, media, environments. Ask, does this agreement amplify peace or erode it? If it erodes, step back. If it amplifies, remain. Let your no be a shelter and your yes be a spring. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. Some days restoration feels like a river. Some days it is a cup of water. Both are holy. When setbacks whisper, see, nothing has changed. Answer with what is true. I am changing directions. I am returning to light. I have never left you. I am your shepherd. I lead you beside still waters. I make you lie down in green pastures. I restore your soul. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives. As it is written, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. John 14:27. Now breathe, my beloved, receive what I am pouring back. Joy, return. Sleep, deepen. Confidence, stand up within. Mind, be clear in the presence of the Lord. Appetite for truth, awaken. You will not live suspicious, you will live in light. You will not be ruled by fear, you will be led by peace. Walk with me in these rhythms, and you will find that restoration is not a moment, but a way of being kept. I am making all things new, beginning within you. My beloved, hear me now as I settle your heart. You are not called to live suspicious. You are called to live in light. After exposure, the adversary would have you scan the room for danger until your joy dims and your rest frays. But I do not lead you into paranoia. I lead you into clarity. I do not ask you to harden your face. I teach you to steady your gaze. I do not come to make you cold. I come to make you clear-eyed and at peace. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. I reveal what is hidden not to inflame you, but to protect you, so that you confirm the truth in peace, set holy boundaries without fear, and walk forward in light and freedom. Discernment is not a season for you now. It is a way of walking with me. You will walk slower because haste has been the doorway through which confusion entered. You will listen deeper because my voice is gentle and easily drowned by striving. You will require peace as your green light, and you will refuse covenants signed under pressure, performance, or panic. Do you see? Delay once tempted you to ignore me, and rush once tempted you to outrun me. Now you will neither drag your feet nor sprint ahead. You will match my pace. When you do not yet sense my peace, you will not be shamed by uncertainty. You will simply pause and remain with me until alignment arrives. As it is written, "In quietness and in trust shall be your strength." Isaiah 30:15. Let me reframe how you hold relationships as you live in this light. Trust is no longer assumed because words are beautiful. Trust is built by truth performed over time. Intimacy is not a free benefit of access. It is the fruit of honesty, consistency, and reverence for what is sacred in one another. Love does not cover lies so they can continue. Love rejoices in truth because truth is where healing breathes. As it is written, love rejoices with the truth. 1 Corinthians 13:6. You will bless generously, forgive promptly, and yet you will allow access to be shaped by fruit, not by flattery and not by history alone. Do you see the difference? You are not closing your heart to the world. You are opening your life to truth. Suspicion stares to control. Light looks to understand. Suspicion hunts for faults to justify distance. Light notices patterns to practice wisdom. Suspicion corrodes joy and makes you your own jailer. Light frees you to be present, to enjoy, to rest, because you are no longer bargaining with confusion. I am teaching you to notice without narrating doom, to observe without labeling souls, to mark what is real without writing prophecies of failure over anyone. You will become skillful at quiet questions. What is the fruit here? What is peace saying? What does time reveal? And you will become comfortable with clean answers. This is good, remain, or this is not aligned, reduce access, or this is unclear, wait. As it is written, by their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:16. Hear also what I am doing in you for the sake of others. Because you have learned to honor the lamp within you, you will become a safe place for weary hearts who are learning the same. Your presence will be unhurried and sturdy. Your words will be few and full. Your boundaries will teach by example that holiness and tenderness are not enemies. Where others expect scrutiny, they will encounter shelter. Where they expect flattery, they will meet truth. Where they expect pressure, they will find pace. You will not try to fix every story. You will honor my timing and keep your oil. As it is written, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. You will carry this light without spectacle. Lamp on a stand, not a torch in a storm. Practice the daily rhythms of light. Begin with my word so that your steps are set before conversations set you. End with gratitude so that your sleep is kept before the night can bargain with your mind. Answer invitations with prayer, not panic. Decline what rushes you. Consider what waits with you. Choose presence over performance. One honest conversation instead of 10 anxious texts. 1 hour of quiet listening instead of a day of rumor. Return to stillness when emotion swells. Check the 3 witnesses. My word, my peace, and time, before you move the line you have set with me. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. Do not fear that light will make you lonely. Light draws those who are seeking life, even if at first it exposes what they wish to hide. Some will resist you, and some will misunderstand, but you will not be ruled by the court of opinion. I will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your justice as the noonday. I am your vindication. As it is written, walk while you have the light, lest darkness overtake you. John 12:35. Walk, not run. Walk, not wait in numbness. Walk with me, and as you walk, you will find that joy no longer needs your vigilance to survive because I am keeping you. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. A single clear step in light is more precious than 100 hurried steps in shadow. So, my beloved, lay down suspicion, lift up the lamp. Guard your heart with wisdom, keep your hands soft and your lines steady. Bless freely, trust by fruit. Refuse rushed covenants, receive peace as permission. And when you are uncertain, pause. Listen, remain. I am your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? As it is written, if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. 1 John 1:7. This is your call, not to live suspicious, but to live awake, at peace and guided by the steady light that keeps you free. My beloved, come into the quiet with me for a final moment. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath lengthen. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am near to bless and to keep, to set my hand upon your mind and your home, to steady your feet in the path I have lit. Hear me. I have never left you, not in the nights that felt without windows, not in the rooms where confusion tried to govern, not in the questions that would not resolve. What is being exposed will not destroy you. This light is guiding you out. Now I pray protection over you, courage without aggression, clarity without obsession, boundaries that hold without hardening your heart, courage that does not lunge but stands, courage that does not shout but answers clearly, clarity that notices patterns without turning people into enemies, clarity that pauses when peace is not present and moves when it is. I place a guard over your mind. May your thoughts rest in me. May replaying cease. May fantasies of catastrophe be replaced with rehearsals of my promises. I set peace upon your doorway. Let your home be a lamp, not a courtroom, a shelter, not a stage for old arguments. I assign angels round about your dwelling. Your sleep shall be kept, your rising blessed, your going out and your coming in, safeguarded now and forevermore. My child, I seal upon you the simple rhythm that will keep you. Remain, listen, obey the next step, not the whole staircase. Choose direction over speed. When you feel the urge to sprint, remember, haste has never been your helper. When delay beckons with its soft pillow, remember, postponement is a quiet thief. Walk with me at the pace of peace. If you cannot hear peace, pause. If you sense pressure without purpose, decline. If you see fruit and alignment, proceed without fear. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. One clear yes in light is worth more than a dozen maybes in shadow. Do not be alarmed by aftershocks of old patterns. They are the sound of doors you have closed, adjusting to stillness. Keep your hands from striving and your heart from rehearsing. Bless and remain boundaried. Forgive and refuse partnership with confusion. If you stumble, you will not fall headlong. I uphold you with my hand. If you are misunderstood, I will be your vindication in time. If you feel alone, lift your eyes and remember, I am with you, and I will bring companions who walk in this same light. I place my word like a seal upon this moment. As it is written, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. No darkness within you or around you is stronger than the truth I have spoken. My light is not a flash that startles and leaves. It is a lamp that remains. a quiet dawn that keeps coming until every corner is clear. Walk in it, keep oil in your lamp, tend to the daily flame, and when you forget, return. I am here. Now receive these imperatives as gifts. Remain in me, listen for me, obey the next step I place before you. Keep your no clean and your yes holy. Guard your mornings with my word and your nights with gratitude. Decline what rushes you. Consider what waits with you. Bless freely. Trust by fruit. Live tender and clear, awake and unafraid. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. My beloved, you will walk forward protected. Awake in my light, steady in peace, unafraid of what is being revealed. I keep you. I cover you. I lead you. I delight to watch you rise. Thank you for listening and remaining in this light with me. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the next word I send to keep you. Share this light with those who need it and stay close. There is more. I will speak to you soon. Amen.